Hello everyone and welcome back to the Engineer's Guide. Today we're going to do the first thing that's possible to do right now on the list, and that is rework the Autominer. This particular ship that I have currently has a lot of timer blocks, and I want to do the same as I did for the Constructor and for the Deconstructor, and that is use the easy automation script to automate a couple of things. Before we start, I want to build it again in the print and repair shop, and there are a couple of ships that might be in the way. So I will be removing these, grinding these down, and get the Autominer to this spot and start building the new version of the Autominer. So let's get the Deconstructor to grind down these ships. Alright, the printer repair shop is cleared out. I've got the Autominer right here, and I've made a LCD so that I can see what's in this ship, put it on, well, let's say paper, and then I can check off every bit that I've placed on the new ship that will come here. I don't think I will let the turrets come back. I'm not sure I've used them that much, and they have quite a big hitbox, so they can be pretty annoying, and it might save on weight a little bit. I do want to keep the same amount of thrusters, and I'm going to look into the amount of ejectors that I'm using, because right now I've got 8 times 12, so that's 96 ejectors, and that's really a lot. That makes this ship heavy, but also quite heavy on the PCU, I believe. Yeah, it is a PCU of 25,000 and an empty mass of over 1 million. Oh no, here it is. About 106,000 kilograms. So it's twice as heavy, more than twice as heavy as the Constructor or the Deconstructor. I do like this setup with the camera and all the screens. That's quite useful, and that's, well, it's one of the better ways to deal with a cockpit and a wall of drills in front. It is possible to split it up to make a cockpit down below and a camera with the screens up above. I then do have to double the amount of screens, or I utilize some of the screens that are here in the cockpit itself. That's also a possibility. I will look into that, and I want to make it a little bit smaller, but I will measure something out here on the floor, because this is almost 7 blocks, large grid blocks long, I believe. Let's check it for a second. Yeah, it's exactly 6 large grid blocks long, and I want it to be a little bit shorter if it's possible, because when it's rotating in front of this gate, it's flying inwards like this, and it rotates with its rear going in first around here, and it sometimes hit the edges. So that is, well, it's for this ship it's a bit of a problem, and that's why I wanted to make a bit shorter or a bit more round off at the rear, or both. I'm not sure yet. So let's look into that 2. I also want to have the same theme as the constructor. So let's get the constructor there too. Another thing that I want is that this ship also will be printable, or the new version of it, similar to this ship. So it will get the same layout with a small merge block on the bottom and a connector right behind it or right above that. For the entire ship, I need to see how each block will be placed at and which attachment points it will utilize, especially lights and gyroscopes. They are well, a little bit finicky. That's why I've used a corner light over here and a normal light, well, half block light over there. Because otherwise, if I used another block, this or the same light as I have used over there, then this block, well, there was a chance that it didn't get printed. So yeah, I am going to check which blocks are needed and what amount, and then we can start laying out the blocks. I think I will build this one in reverse, because the most important part of it will be the drills and layout for the cockpit and the camera, the forward-facing camera. And after that, it's just filling in the other functional blocks, and that's a little bit easier than the other ships. So yeah, let's make a list. Well, it's quite the list, but these are all the components that are in there, with exception of about 40 timer blocks and the turrets that are on there. And what I did add here is an O2 tank. And of course, I want to use the mag locks, the magnetic lock plates, instead of the landing gear that are right now on here. Because, well, that looks a little bit out of place, especially at the back. As you can see, I've got 7 cargo containers on there. I'm not sure if I can fit that much on the new build. Maybe I can, maybe I can't. I'm not sure yet. But, well, we'll see. This will be the list that I will be keeping on the side while building the new version of this. And I do want to use repair mode. Put it a little bit upwards, and then we can start. I've started out with this little bit of the front. I will be extending it outwards bit by bit so that it stays printable by this print system. This gold color beam is just temporary. Also, this merge block is temporary. By building it outwards, it will be about the same as I've got here, with spotlights and well, the sensor is already there, but for now we're just going to extend this bit. This front end is done. All the trails have been placed. I even placed a couple of lights, and I think one of the bigger game changers for these kind of builds is the plates. Because, well, here you can see all the openings of the conveyors, and here you can't. Next, there is something that I haven't done right, and that is that I have placed too many blocks, and that consists of these and this one here. In between here I'm going to place the camera with the control LCDs, and down here I will be placing the cockpit. So I need a clear view over here, and I do need to find out how much space there is between the LCDs and the camera. That is, the camera is placed at this line, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks in between, and that's a perfect view from there. I might want to add a couple of LCDs, small LCDs, in front of the cockpit as well, but we'll see. In the meantime, I want to close off these sides of the conveyors, because I'm not going to use them, and well, only this bit is in the way. And there is a thing why I constantly use the printer repair system, because the welding up of the plates is really annoying. It's almost impossible. Maybe I can use the spark for this, for these bits in between. Yeah, let's get some steel plates. Oh, I've got some on me. Let's see if this ship can reach it. So I've got a sensor for the BAM script already here. I've got some lights, and I've got all the drills. So the drills are done. Next I'm going to focus on the cockpit and the forward antenna, or a forward camera. And as mentioned, that needs a 4 block space. And I need a location for the forward facing thrusters, and I think they will be here on the just on the inside of these conveyors. And I'm seeing another drone attack, and this time there are 3 salvage drones that I need to deal with. They're from there, 1.7 kilometers away, so they're quite close. I shut down the missile turrets again, because, well, I don't have an infinite amount of missiles, and I do want to save some for when another large drone is going to attack. But these I don't worry too much about, the salvage drones. Yeah, and they were going towards me, so they won't damage the ship. And that's done. As you can see, there's a 3x3 hole in between the LCDs for the camera, and that means there is no space for the thrusters between the LCDs and the conveyors here. So the thrusters need to be placed just on the outside of that. And that's possible. It just fits, and they will come up here, of course, because below here is the area for the cockpit. So let's see how that will fit in here. I think I will need a couple of temporary blocks, so let's make these stand out. And there's a Challenger drone, and we've learned from the last time that it's not really wise to approach these. What we do have is space for the vertical thrusters. They can fit over here, but I do need attachment points on the bottom. Yeah, so I need something for in between over there. This is probably also the line, the conveyor line that's coming backwards, or let's see where this one is placed. Yeah, that's in the center down there somewhere. Maybe just this center block. Hey, a fighter drone. I need to deal with that in between. In the meantime, I was wondering how I'm going to fill this in between.
Meteor storm inbound.
I do want to use as much functional blocks as possible, but yeah, it's that's a challenge. Alright, 2 kilometers out. Let's intercept, or I'll just park a little bit on the outside. Okay, let's try something out for a bit. And this one will be a small conveyor going backwards. Okay, this looks pretty nice. And we'll think about what will come there later. For now I can continue with the beam blocks backwards, like so. And I will probably close off the top over there. When this is placed more forward, I can probably see only the middle ones and the bottom ones. So that's over here. Here I can also place just a armor panel. That'll be fine. Alright, let's weld this up. Alright, next thing. I can mark a couple of things off the to-do board. LCDs for the controls, they are present. And that's the only thing. Alright. The camera. So there was a 4-block difference. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And on the 5th block the camera was mounted to have enough space in between the screens and yeah, you can barely see the bottom left corner. And there's another drone coming. This time a kamikaze drone. So yeah, I need to build a little bit more backwards. And here you can see the sideways thrust also in the front, and I need to find a place because I cannot place them here. I've got 3 blocks in width left, and thrusters are 4 blocks long. Oh, I've waited too long. Kamikaze drone is coming right for my ship. And hopefully there's not much left. I got lucky there. So yeah, I need to find a place where I can I will probably place a battery here and then place the sideways thrust. I reckon high up over there, because I need to be able to access the cockpit here from the side. I do need to find a location first for that. Let's place a couple of these small conveyors. Okay, this is perfect for the LCDs. So yeah, perfect for the LCDs. Nothing more to say. I think I want to place a beam construction downwards, and on the bottom I can place the mag locks on the front. So if I place a back end, like so. The only thing is that they angle with the sides, or with the middle section in this direction and not in this direction.
Meteor storm inbound.
How did I do it over here? Alright. I didn't do it in a manner that would fit over there. However, I can use normal armor. I can make attachments like this and then run beam blocks in between. Yeah, I think that'll work. So let's do it here as well. And what I can do here is and then I can place the sideways thrusters like so. I think I need to weld a little bit up and try to fit another couple of things in here while the camera will come in front of here. So I can put that one over there. And we'll see what we put in the sides. Maybe even a double R detector. Well, we'll see. Let's weld this up. I've made a small alteration over here. I have removed the camera temporarily because I thought of how this will all fit, and I wanted an oxygen tank over here, and I am going to place that right here. And oh wait, that one is 3 big. Okay. That is not a problem. I have to make another change for that, but I can fit it like this. Yeah, I can fit it over here. I've placed a conveyor sorter over here here, and through the oxygen tank on top, like so. The cockpit will be connected to the conveyor system, but I will set it up in a way that it won't be filled with any ores, or shouldn't be filled with any ores. And I can place the camera on the side of this oxygen tank. I do have to weld up this bit first, place the oxygen tank, then I can place the camera back in its place. I've been looking around a lot this design. I've succeeded in fitting in 10 gyroscopes. There are 3 there on this side also, and 2 are here, and on the other side the same. I've got the ore detectors over here, mirrored also on the other side, so I can check a couple of things off the list. Well, I have the cockpit. I've got 10 out of 12 thrusters. I've got the gyroscopes, the O2 tank, the camera to the front, and the ore detector. Now I was looking at the following. I want to have at least 6 cargo containers, and I can place them in rows of 3, 2 rows of 3, and I can place them vertical above each other or side by side. And placing them vertical, then they would take up, well, I would leave the middle line open for conveyor work and such, and they would come up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to this line, so really the upper line of what is dug out of the asteroids, and same on the other side. And that would be on the line of where the blocks on which the maglocks will be placed. So I am leaning towards placing them side by side. So they would come up to, this would be the center, then 2, 3 up to here. And then I can place the batteries above and below without going past this line of blocks. And this will be the furthest. And I think that's much better. I will have some small conveyors here first, 1 layer with the sorters. So I will have a couple of sorters that will, no, I need a double system. A system that doesn't allow stone, and sorters that I can activate it, and then the stone is allowed in the cargo containers. That's one thing. And the sorters that push the stone towards the ejectors. That's a system I want to have here in this layer of blocks that will be on top of the, well, the cockpit. So they shouldn't be connected to the cockpit. And I think the sorters will be again in 4 corners on the top side. I'm not sure if I'm going to place this many, because this is, well, this is a whole lot, but I do need much. I think at least 80. So yeah, let's build a conveyor system. Then I can run the welder again, or the print system, or the repair system, and weld everything up. This will be, yeah, I'm not sure how I'm going to finish this, but that will be the last step. Closing off the holes, the conveyor ports, placing the armor, more beam blocks, that kind of thing. More lights, of course. Another thing that I do need to do is place a couple of sensors on the front. One for the PAM script. Oh, I've already got that one. That's over there. Then I need 2 more sensors, one for docking. And what was the third? Oh, there's a scouting drone coming, but that one will be close enough that it will be destroyed by my ship. There were 3 sensors. One for the PEM script. Let's see, I've already forgotten. One for the approach and one for the dock. Oh yeah, of course. I want to have the approach sensor trigger that the stone injection will stop. So that the interior of the bay isn't flooded with, well, stone. And I've got a nice spot for that. For both sensors, by the way. And that is... where is it? There. Programmable block. This one. That's just above and below this one. And I can fill this up with armor or something. I'm not sure yet. So that takes care of the sensors. And they are over here. So yeah, let's continue with the sorting system. Alright, there are two things that are a bit different and that I have underestimated. One thing is that this block, the oxygen tank, it takes up quite a bit of value space, but I'm intending to keep that. So there's one large cargo container less in this design. And there are 2 medium cargo containers that are in this line underneath the large merge block that also won't come back in this new design. The other thing is that I have underestimated the amount of sorters for the ejection system. I've used a lot and I actually need a lot. And I was looking at this, how I am intending to apply that in this design as well. And let's see. Well, regarding the length, you can see that it is significantly shorter, even with or without the back end. It will be a lot shorter, and I think that will be well, that is really okay. That was one of the intentions. Let's get this at the same same level, so about here. I've got a couple of blocks left in order to be it as long as here. I've got another solution, and that is that I remove these containers and place a couple of where are they? Medium cargo containers in between, like so. then again large cargo containers. The funny thing is that this probably won't work because I have the small cargo ports or conveyor ports I think on this side. I'm not sure anymore. And what I want to do for this is that I exchange this top bit. I want to make that double so that I can add two sorters above each other, because it's the whole thing. The only thing that matters is the amount of that doesn't help, is the amount of parallel conveyor sorters, and I think I've used about 40 in this design. Quite a lot actually, maybe even more. And even if I have 8 ejectors, I still need, well, really a lot. So the task here is to fit in as much as possible, and with medium cargo containers in between, I've got just a little bit more space to fit those in. So I will rebuild this bit here to make a double, and to make a connection that goes back towards the back up to a single line. Otherwise I don't have the space to fit in batteries just above, because that's another thing that I need a lot of. This design has 10 and I want to have, well, at least close to that number. So yeah, well, I will build this up and you will see what it has become. Okay, this is what I've made of it. The tricky part was to keep the conveyor system separated, especially here. There you see in the center a line coming from a small conveyor junction over there, which is between the two large cargo containers, that is connected to this connector. This system, this is the zone ejection system, is not connected and shouldn't be connected. And on the back there's another connector that is directly connected to the cargo containers. All these sorters you see here on the outside, so there are 6 here, 6 there, 2 there and 2 over there. So that's 16 per side, 32 in total. Those will feed the ejectors. I'm not sure how that will look in the end, but that will come here on the side. I've got some batteries, 6 on top and 4 on the bottom. I've got also the thrusters at the back, so now I've got them all. I've got, well, sufficient cargo containers. I've got 6, 4 large and 2 medium, and in the old design I had 5 large and 2 medium, so it's a little bit less cargo. I've got the batteries, I've got a connector on the bottom and on the rear. The cameras need to come later. Mag locks, ejectors, programmable block, not yet. Conveyor sorters are there. And that's that. I'm going to sort everything so that what I need to do is at the top. A lot of these things I can only place after the armor is done. For example, the lights and the mag locks. I want to do that after all the other, or after the armor is done. And I think this is the last one. Merge block. Oh yeah, I can place that one below the connector at the bottom. But that will also come when the armor is done. The remote control and the last programmable block, which I will use for easy automation. Oh no, I missed the strike drone and that is causing a lot of damage. Yeah. Well, a lot. Is this everything that... This is... or this was the ceiling of the hallway. And there's a strike drone. Okay. Yeah. Oh, well, that's not half bad. Only, what is it? 9, 10, 12 interior wall blocks that have been destroyed by some probably missiles. The lost programmable block and the remote control. I want that at a specific location, and that is because of the functionality I have in the constructor, the deconstructor. That is that I want to turn off the dampeners when it is docked, and that is quite specifically interesting to apply. Let's see, do I have attachment points here? Yeah. And over there. I want it also be useful when this ship is printed. And again, it will be printed from back to front. So the connector is printed first. And I need to keep an eye on the attachment points again, because this does not have an attachment point. The merge block that will come here is the first one with that will be printed. So, for example, these conveyors will be placed and welded up after this block is placed. And to be able to turn off the dampeners, you will need a functioning, where is it? Here, a functioning remote control. And I actually don't want it to be at the, completely at the back, but I want it here in the right orientation. So that's the front is there and I'm on the top side. Then I want a bit of space and have a programmable block with the am I doing this right? I'm not doing this right. I want a sensor that is used to detect if it is docked. I want it to be at the most front part, so that's here. I need a programmable block. This one over here and the remote control here. This way I have the remote control that can turn on and off the dampeners. I have the script that will be in here. Then I need the programming. I can place that at the bottom of that block. That will contain the programming to use the easy automation script, and the sensor that will detect if it is docked. And if it is, then it will trigger the script on the LCD, which will trigger or use the script on the programmable block, which turns off the dampeners at the remote control. And I need to handle those because they are quite in there. And as I mentioned, for that I need a small LCD with specific programming. And with that I can check a number of items from the to-do list, of the to-do list. So let's get these done, if I can, yeah, get them. And that's also done. So back to the to-do list. I've got a remote control. I don't have the cameras yet. That's dependent on the armor. Maglocks are dependent on the armor. Ejectors.
Energy low.
Not sure how that will fit. Also, a little bit part of what I'm going to do with armor. LCDs on the side is part of the armor. The merge block, also armor. I have the programmable blocks. Lights are part of the armor, and yeah, I will add the scripts later. So right now I'm going to focus on the armor and the ejectors. Let's see what I can make of it and make it a little bit, well, not completely form over function, but I do want to make it look less like a brick with such as is this one. I think it already looks a bit better. So yeah, I'm going to play around with armor and ejectors, and I will see you in a bit. It has taken a long time, but we're here. The decoration is done, all the lights are there, and it is actually one whole block shorter than the old design. So, well, that's not really much, but it is basically as oh, it's also one block less wide, with the exception of the drills, and especially with the exception of the turret, because that one takes quite some space. And when you look at the back, it's a little bit more rounded. This one is quite wide at the back, and this is a little bit more narrow, and it's more in the design of the Constructor and the Deconstructor. So it's more of a family right now. So all the blocks have been placed, but now I have to do all the naming the blocks, setting up the scripts, writing the programming for the easy automation. I don't have to set up a lot of timer blocks because this one hasn't got any, and I think that's a major improvement, and you can see that in the PCU, because this one has a PCU of 19,900, and it's about, oh, I have to deconnect. And it still has the auto connect on the magnetic plates. This one has an empty mass of almost 98,000 kilograms. And going to the other one. This one has a PCU of more than 23,500 and a empty mass of 108,000 kilograms. So that's also quite an improvement. And I must say, this one looks a lot more awesome. I have been able to close almost all the conveyor ports. There are a few here around the thrusters that I couldn't close because the thrusters are in the way. but all the other ones, they are all closed. It's a bit tight between the two ships. And well, it has the setup to be printed. I have placed all the blocks to be, well, quite easily, well, it should be printable. However, these ones might cause some problems, and I'm wondering if I can do something about that, because this block will only be printed when the block behind that is printed, and then the magnetic plate needs to be attached, and there is a way to enhance that, and that is by placing these plates, maybe in the right color, that would be nice, placing them over here. This doesn't do anything because these plates are also welded quite late in the process. Yeah, I think I will have to accept that. I did make some changes to the printer so that the start is a little bit slower, and this is always fun. This will take some time to remove these plates, because this is really difficult to get a good angle on them. There, I saw it. I will remove those, and well, I'll be back when I've set up the entire ship. Well, this ship is done, and it took a long time, literally hours, to set everything up and to do the programming up to the detail level of detail that all the screens have been, well, filled in, as you can see here, and the same for the front camera. Everything is working, every script is set up. Hotbars are filled in, of course, and I've also filled in the hotbars for the remote control. So from controlling the ship from the cockpit is the same as for the remote control. This ship also got a name right now, and that is the ISS Gimlet, the Autominer Mark II. And I am really happy with this ship. I've tested it for a little bit. You can see that over here, I believe. Oh, here, small hole. And it flew back into its docking bay, and it rotated right between the blue ribbons, and it fit perfectly. So also very happy with that. I can actually show you how the docking is going. Even better, I've got a safety feature on board. And that is this button. If I press this button, it goes home. At least I hope it goes. I did not test this, but it seemed like the ship is going to its docking. And in a couple of seconds it's going to rotate. As you can see here, and well, there was just a block clearance, so that is perfect. And this ship can also dock at the rear of the ship and at the bottom, with a similar construction as I have on the Constructor and the Deconstructor, with magnetic lock plates at the bottom. And that the construction took so long can also be seen here. There are several holes. One is here, and somehow, oh yeah, that's from the front side. I believe it was here somewhere. Yeah, here are also multiple holes, even here into the server room, and there is a bit of a Gatling turret. So I do need to fix a couple of locations and clean up all the what is it called? All the scrap metal, yeah, and other debris. Need to clear that away, and I think those are the only couple of locations. So I think there were 2 or 3, maybe more attacks that I didn't even notice. And that's the thing when setting up these ships. You're quite long busy in the terminal, especially applying the programming and setting up the hotbars. You don't even notice when the ship is under attack, unless it's right in front of your face and you hear the sounds. But well, in these cases I didn't. With this ship being done, this is also the end of the episode. I hope you've enjoyed this one. If you did, please leave a like, and I will see you next time.